Hello everyone and welcome to Monday's video. I hope you've all had a brilliant weekend, but before I say anything else, I'd like to say a massive thank you for all of the wonderful birthday messages, tweets, comments, emails, the lot. You guys have been really supportive. I had a fantastic birthday and I really appreciate all of the messages. So with the birthday celebrations over, it's time to get back to it. It's back to work and I've got a lot of plans and a lot of stuff that I want to sort out. Now, one of my main priorities is getting my laptop situation sorted because I've got a few theatre shows coming up and I know that I'm going to need a very reliable laptop. So I'm going to have to really think about doing something like that. But I am in the process of getting some money together and whatnot and sorting that out. So that's working in the background. So expect to see a few videos about that later on, maybe next week or something. But for now, I'm going to tackle another big sort of problem that I have in my life, and that is my desk setup. So without further ado, let's talk a little bit about what's wrong with my desk setup and what I'm going to do to make it better. So I am going to spend quite a lot of time talking to you guys about it because this is mainly a planning sort of video, but I am going to show you guys some of the problems firsthand with my desk with a little bit of handheld camera work, and I'm also going to try out a couple of things for size because I've got a few ideas. Now before I say anything, I did receive a very generous amount of birthday money from all sorts of relatives and friends, and it's all come together and I have filled my Amazon basket with a load of stuff that I want for my desk. I've decided to blast my birthday money on desk stuff because I could blast it onto a new laptop, but it really wouldn't, you know, make sense because it would only be a very small fraction of that laptop cost. So I'd rather get into some kind of debt for the laptop and buy outright some stuff that's going to improve my desk setup. So I've got an Amazon basket that has, I believe it's £226 worth of stuff in there. I have about £180, so I'm going to get on eBay later or probably tomorrow, list a couple of console bundles or some other stuff that I've got lying around just to build up the extra sort of £40 or £60 that I need just to buy that stuff. But yeah, it's got all sorts of stuff in there, cables and just really exciting stuff. You'll see a lot of unboxings, I'll make videos about it all, and it's all stuff that's really going to improve my desk setup. So let's talk about why I need to improve it. So going from making one video a week or even one video a month to making 5 videos a week, I really didn't think about how much time I'd be spending sitting at my desk. I now live at my desk. It reminds me of the time that I sat on my computer so much throughout sort of 2010, 2011 when I was still in school, and I just used to spend all night on the computer and, you know, doing all cool stuff and then, you know, sleeping in school and stuff like that. But for the past couple of years I've been doing such a massive variety of things that I haven't spent hours upon hours on the computer. But now I'm sort of back to spending easily, you know, depending on the day, 5 to 8 to 10 hours sitting at the computer, just editing and getting all things sorted. And I'm still not on top of my email inbox after sitting at the computer for that amount of time. I still need to improve my time management, but that's a completely different story. So when you spend a lot of time at your desk, you start to notice little things. And I have noticed that my desk isn't ideally ergonomically set up. It's not comfortable for me. Now I have a problem where my monitors are too low. I like to have my seat so that my legs are straight and I'm sitting, you know, pretty much with the desk at sort of nice arms level, but then my monitors are too low, so I get this thing where I'm sort of crouching forward and my neck is bent when I'm looking at the monitors, and that is really not good. I get terrible neck ache after a long period of time, and if you do that over a few months or over a few years, then you can really do yourself some damage. You can cause yourself permanent spine damage and whatnot, and I don't want to give myself any kind of health problems just by using my computer. So that seems stupid, and I can rectify that problem by spending about £35. So one of the components in my Amazon basket will really help with that. So that's problem number one. Also, my keyboard is a little bit too close to me. I want to get a bigger desk setup just so my keyboard's further away, and so that I have more space on my desk to make videos, because you guys know I do a lot of desk shots and my keyboard is always very focused in that shot, and I'd like to get it a little bit pushed back. So I've got all sorts of plans revolving around how that's going to work. So that's point number one, the comfort of my desk. And if anything, that's probably the most important point, but it's not very exciting. Point number two is a little more exciting. Now I'll show you guys all this in a second, but as you probably know, my cable management and my power management is an absolute disgrace. It's a disgrace beyond belief. Now, I'm not a big hater of cable clutter. I mean, I'm a tech head. I love tech. And with tech comes cables. I have shed loads of cables. And compared to things like my studio setup, and you know, when I go to a gig and I set up my lighting rig, the cabling under my desk isn't too bad. They're all thin cables, it's only stuff like USB and small power cables and stuff, you know, it's not like 12-way XLR looms or anything like that, but it still is a lot of cable clutter. And I have a lot of crappy white discoloured extension leads under there, all daisy chaining off each other, and it is a hazard. There's a lot of excess cable under there just coiled up, and it definitely is a hazard. I'm not too happy with it at all. It does radiate heat, and I leave it on 24 hours a day. So I would really like to get better power management. Also, the power isn't evenly distributed enough across the two sockets that I have under my desk. I want to dedicate one socket for stuff that should stay on 24 hours and one socket for stuff that I can turn off every single night. Because my Mac Pro is running 24/7 at the moment, but after implementing my Mac Mini setup, it won't be. My Mac Pro will be shut down every night, and that's exactly what I want to achieve. To improve the electricity bill, to improve the power consumption, the heat in my room is a big thing that I want to improve. And of course, you know, it just sucks energy for pointless, you know, if I can run a smaller computer, then it's better for the environment, it's better for me, it's better for everyone really. So, you know, I don't want to have that running 24/7. And of course, if I'm doing power management, so I'm getting some new extension leads and surge protectors and stuff like that, I may as well manage the cables at the same time. So I'll have a couple of cable management things that'll be easy to manage. Not OCD, not hiding every single cable, just, you know, a nice stream of cables up the back, not spewing out all over the place and getting tangled and being awful. And you know, because when I've got my legs under my desk, I can feel the cables around my feet, and that's not really nice, you know, and you can feel them heating up. So yeah, that's something that I've wanted to improve for a very long time. The third point is the most exciting point of them all. This is basically the introduction of my Mac Mini setup. As you guys know, I've been tinkering around a little bit with my two Mac Minis, the Intel one and the G4 one. I haven't done nearly enough work to them yet. I've still got a lot of setting up to do, but before I do that, I need to implement them into a more permanent setup. So I have a shelf underneath my desk that's just covered in junk at the moment. We'll have a look in a second. But what I'm hoping to do is have like a sort of server shelf, and that's where my two Mac Minis will sit with all my external drives, and they'll be powered 24/7 doing all the duties that servers do, with my router and with a gigabit switch eventually, and then I can leave them powered on 24/7 and I can switch off the rest of the stuff, which will be absolutely fantastic. So that's the most exciting thing. I'm implementing another entire computer setup, well really two computer setups, into my desk setup, and I want to minimize cable clutter, minimize general clutter, and make things easier to manage and work on. So of course, that is something that is going to require a lot of planning and effort, because I'm going to be introducing so many more cables and whatnot because of that setup. And I need to make it expandable because I want to buy external hard drives within the next 2 months. I'm gonna end up running out of storage because I'm using 5 times the amount of storage now, pretty much with the videos that I'm making. So that's something that's really important to me and something that I need to get done pretty soon. So that's going to be the main focus of this video. We're going to try out that shelf for size, see if it holds the Mac Minis and a couple of external drives, see what it looks like, see how it behaves, and basically sort of just see if it's going to work really, because I have no idea. And also a couple of other little things that come along with all this. I want to make my printer more accessible. It's covered in junk, so every time I want to use it I have to like move tons of stuff, and it's just a massive hassle. I want my printer to be powered up and usable all the time because I need to print more documents now. My eyesight, I want to permanently mount it. I'm sick of adjusting gaffer tape all the time during a live stream and stuff. I want to get that permanently mounted. I don't care how I do it. I haven't figured it out yet, but I need to do it. And also the LED lights at the back of my desk are just sort of thrown on the floor and stuck up with gaffer tape on the back of the desk. I want to permanently mount those as well with proper little clamps. So that's all going to be done. So this is a massive job, massive. To give you guys an idea of the scale of it, you're aware of how much hardware I have on the setup at the moment. It's a colossal setup considering, you know, I'm just a guy in my bedroom really, and I want to pull everything out I want to clean everything, so I'm going to dust everything and hoover everything back there. I want to pull every single cable out, clean every single cable, coil it all up nicely. And I'm actually getting phoned. 2 seconds. Sorry about that, guys. I've put my phone on silent now, which I forgot to do at the start of this video. Anyway, it's going to be a mammoth task, and I'm going to document the whole thing on video. I assume there's going to be, including the unboxings of the new products that I'm going to get, there's going to be 5, 6, maybe 7 or 8 videos about the migration to this new setup. I'm keeping the same desk, I'm keeping the majority of the same hardware, but it's going to be a totally different setup, where I want everything to be seamless. Right now, it's not, and I'm going to point out all of those flaws to you right now. So, just to let you know, I have not moved or modified anything in order to make this video. I have kept things exactly the same, just so you guys can see the sort of daily clutter that I put up with. So, I have these 2 portions here and here, either side of my setup. My arms go here, and they just clutter up. And this is a terrible habit that I've got. I mean, this is stuff from the PowerBook, videos and videos ago. And this is my external hard drive and a book that I'm reading. And over here, I've just got junk, really, just stuff that I just leave there. And it's, you know, it's pretty stupid. But that's something that I hope a new setup will inspire for me. So what we're going to do is we're going to go right to left. And basically, I'm going to talk about everything on the desktop that's annoying. So, annoying thing number 1. As much as I love having computers on the desktop because I think it looks really nice, the annoying thing about having a computer here is while using my 2 displays, they have to be forward a lot more from the back of the desk. So the distance between the front of the desk and the keyboard isn't as much as I'd like. This is not a lot of space. I would like more desktop space than this, because when I type, I like to have my arms straight. But unfortunately, my arms are at a slight angle, like that. So I'm not going to have a computer on the desktop anymore, and I'm a bit gutted about that, but I'm moving to a bigger display setup, that's a little clue, and I want to have them at the back of the desk. It's a goal for me. Also, when displays are pushed to the back of the desk, that helps with avoiding putting stuff on the back of the desk that creates cable clutter. So yeah, that's not going to be there, and that'll give me an entire sort of 6, maybe 8 inches more space on the desk that way, so everything can be pushed back and it'll just be a cleaner setup, and I'll have my lovely setup here and it'll all be great. So that's the first thing. That creates a lot of problems, you know, everything's really close to me, the speakers are really close to me, and yeah, that actually creates a lot of the issues. So coming down then, you can see that I have a lot of problems with just general laziness. One thing that I hate about my setup is this. This bundle of cables coming out the bottom of each monitor is absolutely disgusting. This one's worse, but I hate the look of it. I hate it. It looks like you've got nice monitors and then a sort of bundle of fairy lights or I don't know, just some ridiculous spaghetti coming out the bottom of it. And, you know, these monitors are fairly old now, so the cable management holes aren't, you know, up to today's standards. They should be cut off there so you don't see the cables, but they're too low. So that could be rectified with things like cable ties and whatnot, but I will not be using these stands. I want to get more stuff up in the air and off the desk. Talking of that, this is an issue, the Blue Snowball. The Blue Snowball is a great sounding mic, and I love the tripod, it's lovely quality, but it takes up a shed load of space, really, it does. Now, if you want it sort of here or something to get a nice, in-your-face, good sound, it blocks the monitors, blocks the keyboard, and you've got a cable trailing over here. I don't want that. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the Blue Snowball up in the air on an elevation mount, on like a broadcast mic stand that I can just, it can be floating over here and I can pull it over here in front of my face when I want it, and I will have nothing obstructing my workspace here. Because the Blue Snowball, ever since I've had it, and I must have had it for about 2 years now, I haven't had an ideal place to put it. With dual monitors, it's really hard to find somewhere to put it. And look, it's blocking, it pretty much blocks my tweeter where it is now. So I get no high frequency, when I'm sitting in my optimal position, I get no high frequencies from the left side, and then, you know, my head goes on the slant then because I want to listen to more high frequencies from that side, and yeah, that's a big issue. And it really annoys me. Other than that, the desktop setup is not too bad. I'm going to keep everything primarily the same. You know, I like having my mouse there and my keyboard there. I'm just going to push them back further. You know, this isn't rocket science, but it's all these little things that, you know, make your flow easier. I just can't have a crappy setup anymore. I need to have a good working setup because I'm spending so much time here. Another little thing to point out, I don't want any of this stuff back here. There's a video switch there, don't want it. There's my router and an external hard drive underneath it, I believe. Yeah, there's an external drive back there, 750 gig MyBook drive. Don't want those sitting back there. I don't want that tripod sitting back there. And I don't want all this little stuff sitting here either. And all these cables poking out of random places. I want to get away from having permanent cables coming out of there and stuff, because that's my camcorder cable. And I did used to have all that thing sorted, but then the drivers messed up for my USB cards in the Mac Pro, so that wasn't good. Also, by the way, yeah, all that's going to be sorted out with the same setup as well. So, yeah, if we look over the back then, you can see that my LED lights are just sort of thrown over the back of the monitors, and there's no real management to them. We've got awful cabling down here, and all this is going to be sorted out, definitely. Obviously, the Mac Minis are only temporary, so that's why they're there like that. But yeah, that's it for the desktop. So I've pulled out a little light down here so you guys can see the details. Just because it's disgraceful. So let's start here. Now, I'm sitting on the floor, so sorry about the weird camera work. Here I have old college work that I never even handed in, and I don't know why it's there. So I need some files. I'm going to salvage these and reuse them. Obviously, it's nothing tech related, so that won't be in the video. Up here, I've got all sorts of stuff, really. Cover for my laser pod. I've got this cool USB flashing game. I've got, what are these? Blank cassettes. Batteries, all sorts of little things, cables, and there's my old Hi 8 camcorder back there, all on top of my printer. I want that all to be gone so that I can use my printer freely. Also, to use my printer, I have to pull it out because the USB connection is on the side, so I want to drill a hole through the side of my desk so that I can actually use the printer in that little space there. So that means the printer will be usable. So that'll be one really important step. Coming up, this is what I hope to turn into my server shelf. So right here now, all we have are these two drawers full of little junk. You know, the really small junk that builds up like old pen drives and SD cards and little adapters and gift cards and stuff like that. And over here, it's just sort of like, it is fairly organised. It's actually my blank media section. So here we have DVDs, CDs, DVDs, CDs in dual cases. Here we have some CD cases. Behind there we have a load of blank cassettes, different types. Hopefully you can see that. I'm not sure because of the silhouette with the window. Let me just put this back. Hang on a sec. There we go. And there I have a load more blank cassettes. And I have a load of blank VHS tapes back there. So all this stuff can live somewhere else. I actually quite like having it on my desk, the blank media. I can just reach my arm underneath and grab a CD or grab a DVD or grab whatever I need. So it'll be really, really nice to find somewhere for this. Now, coming over, I'm probably going to turn this shelf into my blank media shelf, because here at the moment we have all of my dodgy discs. So these are all the different versions of OS X and Windows, all that I've burnt myself. You know, this is the stash that I use in my videos, as well as some legit software. So up here we've got Final Cut, we've got Snow Leopard up there somewhere probably, or I might have lent it to someone. We've got a load of random external hard drives at the top there. Capture card that I use for the streams. Panther is sitting there. So all that stuff can go somewhere else. And to be honest, all this stuff can go somewhere else as well. These are all my PC games. These are PC games, and these are burnt Mac games. And this is all screen cleaning stuff. And here we have my bin. So the shelves themselves, apart from this one, aren't too disorganised. That's organised, and these two are both pretty much organised, and they work really well. But I want to use this as a server shelf. I think it'll be really handy. It'll get all of the server clutter off the desktop, and it'll be great. So there's enough space down there for 2 Mac Minis and a load of external drives, and I think that'll be fantastic. So, shelves aside, let's take a little look over here. Here we have a money box with nothing in it. I used to use it for... I can't remember what I used to use it for. Anyway, whatever. And yeah, here we have my sub, my creative subwoofer. Brilliant subwoofer, by the way, guys. Needs a bit of a dusting. But yeah, I love this speaker system, and I have no intention of ditching it. But if we go further under the desk, my voice is probably going to go a bit weird. We have an OWC box there with an optical drive in it, but here we have my cable clutter. And as you guys can see, it's not great. So I have a 4-way here. This was my originally stay on all the time 4-way. I also have a 6-way there and a 6-way there, and awful clutter. I can feel, if I put my hand here, I can feel heat. So as you can see, it all needs a bit of a dusting back here and everything. So all of this is coming out. It's definitely coming out. And it's going to get replaced with 2 tower extension leads, one 12-way for the turn it off every night setup, and one 10-way to run all the server stuff. Now, the great thing is, because I won't have a PC on top of the desk, I won't have all this clutter. I won't have any, like, I'll only have the leads for the monitors going up onto the desk. And the plan is, this part here is solid, like so. So my plan is, because my Mac Pro is there, I'll run one stream of cables under there. You won't see them at all, and that'll go to the Mac Pro. And I'll run one stream of cables this way and up there and onto the desk, so that you won't see those either. And I can cable manage all of those really tidily, so there won't be that clutter going up there, and there won't be that clutter going up there. There'll just be 2 tower extension leads and nice coils of cable next to them. So that is the plan, hoping I'm going to be able to pull it off. I can see maybe a few tricky things that's going to be quite restricting, but I'll give it my best shot. So I'm not going to do it on camera just because I don't want this video to turn out really, really long, and I doubt you guys want to just see me move a load of boxes backward and forth. But basically what I'm going to do now is rip out all of that stuff there and replace it with my Mac Minis and a couple of external drives, just to see what the setup would look like and to see how much I can fit there. I don't want to cram stuff in too tight because heat is an important element as well. And there's a radiator behind there, but I've normally got it switched off because of the Mac Pro and stuff. You know, it's a really bad idea to have, obviously, radiators heating up your computers. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to listen to some music and I'm going to have a chill out and do that, and then we'll see what it looks like coming back. Obviously, it won't. I'm not going to wire it in. It's not going to be perfect. No cabling, nothing. It's just going to try it out for size, because if it doesn't fit, I'm going to need to rethink my tactic. Check these out, guys. This is a pack of sealed 3 Woolworths blank tapes for daily use. It says lifetime guarantee. I wonder if that still applies. But yeah, I'm keeping them sealed. As you guys know, Woolworths is no more, and I just really, really like this, this sealed pack. I have another sealed pack here that I haven't broken into yet, because I've got another set of cassettes that I'm using that I already have open, and I don't use that many blank VHS tapes anymore. But yeah, they do come in handy, so I thought I'd just show you that. The main point of this clip is to show you the shelf. Now, I wasn't aware of this backing, so that doesn't present too much of a problem because the shelf is deep enough to get connectors in, but I think stuff will have to come right to the front to allow connectors to come out the back. Now, I want to use a KVM with this setup, but I don't think this will fit on that shelf with the Mac Mini. So what I'm going to have to do is order a couple of those Apple DVI to VGA adapters, because they have the cable in between, so that you can bend stuff over the back of that wooden piece at the back of the shelf. I want to use the KVM, the Mac Mini KVM that I was donated, and that uses VGA. So, you know, I won't be using the KVM constantly because I'll be screen sharing mostly, but for stuff that I want, I will wire the KVM into one of these displays for, you know, necessary local display use, or whatever you would call it. So yeah, I'm going to fill up this shelf now and see what it looks like. So guys, this is how it's looking. Now, not bad at all. Let me explain a couple of things. Firstly, not too happy about how crammed in everything is, just because of heat, and it's going to be running 24 hours a day. But I think it might be alright. This stuff really doesn't generate that much heat, and if I get the power supplies on the floor, then that'll make a big difference as well. Only reason they're up there for now is because I wanted to see if they would fit up there, and, you know, being out the way, having, you know, with my cable management and stuff, power bricks on the floor is a no-go, but I'll probably be able to get them under here somehow, and then just run the cables up. So the power bricks won't be there, they're just there for now. Now, something that I am going to do is definitely drill 2 holes. When I drill the printer hole, I'll drill 2 big holes in the back of this this bit here. One big round one here and one big round one behind the Mac Minis to run all the cables over, because the cables going over the top isn't convenient at all. It creates a lot of tension at the back and it's just not needed. Now, here we have over here an Ethernet switch. This is not the one I'll be using because this is only a 10100 switch. I need to buy a gigabit switch, but I will probably have it mounted on the side here, like so. So just with enough room at the top to get Ethernet cables out, I'll run all the cables along the back, down the back, and it'll be all neat and tidy, instead of having everything sandwiched on top of there. Also, this is going to be sort of about an inch higher, because I'm also going to buy one of those Belkin to match this Mac Mini Firewire / USB hubs. So that'll give me enough Firewire and USB to run all the external drives. Talking of external drives, there will be another 2 here. So this is going to work out well. We're going to have the switch mounted here, and then we're going to have another 2 external drives here, eventually 2 MyBook 4TB drives here, and then this will be the complete setup. This is staying here, but you might be thinking, well, you know, your antenna's flat, you're going to get crappy Wi-Fi signal everywhere around the house. I'm just going to be using it as a modem. I'm going to be disabling the Wi-Fi on that, and I'm going to be getting a decent Wi-Fi router to put up somewhere. I'll probably mount it behind one of my monitors or put it up somewhere, even maybe over there somewhere, just to get better Wi-Fi signal around the house. So that'll just be used as a modem only. Now I am thinking of getting an 8-port gigabit switch. I would like to have a 19-inch rack mount server set up one day, but it's probably not going to happen anytime soon, and the switches are a lot more expensive, and I don't need like a 16 or a 24 port. 8 ports should do me fine, so another 20 quid on an 8-port gigabit switch, and that can go there, mounted on the side like so. So for now, guys, I think that is looking fairly decent. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit higher, like I mentioned. There's going to be more drives, but yeah, I'm really happy with that. My 3TB black MyBook drive is going to stay hardwired locally to the Mac Pro just for Time Machine, because there's no reason for me to run the Mac Pro Time Machine through the server, because it's a system that always stays put there, and it can just run backups off the internal drives. 3 terabytes up there is enough to cover the backup for the internal drives. Ooh, also guys, I'm really hoping that I'll have enough space somewhere around here. Depends how far back I can get these or whatever. If I have enough space for a 3.5-inch dock, because I want to have a dock permanently wired into the setup, just so that I can dock 3.5-inch SATA drives, and hopefully get an IDE combination one as well, even though they're a little bit bigger, but probably just a SATA one, so I can quickly retrieve data off of drives and put data onto drives and stuff like that without bothering with enclosures. I want a dock for the server, that's a definite. And now this little rig here is going to be used to upload all of my videos nightly, because this beast sucks a lot of juice just to upload a video overnight. So all my videos will be uploaded from here overnight. The Intel one is on the top, the G4 is in the middle there. The Intel one's going to be the main file server and also used to upload videos. The G4, I've got a few dedicated tasks for this in mind. Probably a print server so I can print from my laptop remotely, and a lot of cool things like that. So that, guys, is looking good to me. Really good. None of that's wired in at the moment, and yeah, I don't even know when it will be, but that's how it is for the moment. I am looking for about £40 or £60 to buy all the stuff that I need to buy for the desk setup to make this possible. There is no way I can wire this in now. I'm not going to even bother trying to wire it into that. It's a pointless task. I'm going to save it all for when I rip everything out and put it all back. But I think this is a much better way to utilise space than just having, you know, blank cassettes that I hardly use taking up an entire shelf. So very pleased with that. Hope you guys like it, and I think this is pretty much it for this video. This was just a little planning stage. I'm fiddling with a lot of ideas, and I think I will go ahead with this. If you have any suggestions, please feel free to fire them over. Of course, it's a good idea to watch the entire video before firing over suggestions, because I get that quite a lot these days. People skip through the video and miss things that I say and then suggest something that I've already mentioned. But yeah, I'm welcome to all suggestions. I'm not sure if any of you have done anything like this before, but it seems like quite an easy task. Once I cut those cable management holes, get the gigabit switch mounted on the side, and you know, I think that'll be generally really good. I'm very much looking forward to it, actually. I think this is going to be nice. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up. It really helps me a lot. Or if you didn't enjoy it, feel free to give it a thumbs down. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Head down into the video description for all of my useful links, including my eBay link. And of course, I will be listing a couple things on eBay to raise money for my desk setup, so it's worth keeping an eye on eBay. I haven't been as active on eBay as I thought I would be because I kind of hyped it up over the past couple of weeks, but I have got a lot of stuff that will be eBayed, and I definitely need to get on it because I need to raise some extra cash as well because it's been a bit quiet for me work-wise lately. But anyway, all of that aside, hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Join me tomorrow for Tuesday's video, which may or may not be desk related again, but whatever it is, I hope you enjoy it, and I'll catch you all very soon.